Hello again, everybody, and welcome to episode 24, the Say Hey edition of going through a 1971 Topps Vending Box. We'll go through a pinch, about a pack's worth of cards, and also at the end of this, look over some of my Willie Mays baseball card collection. I've got sitting out some of the cards that we have gone through so far. We've probably gone through 300 plus cards, gotten some real nice cards. We're a little light on a few of the superstars. Those two, Bench and Seaver, those are the only ones I've gotten so far. Out of what we expect, 3 to 4 of each card on average after we go through the full box. So let's go ahead and take another little grasp here, back right there, our pack, and see who we get today. So we start out on top with Tony Gonzalez. He had some 300 hit seasons. Larry Gura. Looks like a nice centered card. A pitcher had some good years with the Royals. Another really good Expos pitcher and Steve Renko. And we got a nice Hall of Famer here. 300 plus win player. Like to doctor the ball a little bit. North Carolinian. Gaylord Perry. Nice card. Good. And we got a ERA champ and Diego Segui. Looks like a pretty good condition card. Good centering so far until we come to Dick Green. Not so well centered there. The second baseman on some World Series teams, Cesar Gutierrez. Shortstop, who had a pretty light major league career. We got a Duffy Dyer, backup catcher. The Mets, backed up with another Met and Wayne Garrett. That looks well centered. Nice sharp corners, good black borders. Eddie Leone, Indians infielder. Bob Montgomery, didn't like to wear a batting helmet. The Red Sox, the infielder, he didn't have a bad few years there. Doug Griffin. And final card, Frank Reberger, pitcher from the Giants. So, looks like our top card was a Gaylord Perry. I believe that's the third Perry I've gotten out of this box. Here was one of the previous ones. One of the ones I set out as one of the best condition cards. It looks like this new Gaylord is pretty well centered and well conditioned as well. All right, let's turn to another Giant, number 24 in Willie Mays, and see what I've got. When I was going through my mazes, I noticed he was one of the guys I didn't collect big time when I was younger, and I really wish I would have. The card, obviously, I'd really like to have is his 51 Bowman, which is his first rookie card, which I do not have. I love to have that card in a kind of a nice eye appeal 2 to 3 type of a card would be nice. I do have his first Topps card as part of my 52 set that I'm working on. It's got a little tear you can see on the bottom. Other than that, though, I do like the color of this card. It's actually got not, that bad of centering. It's got a nice back, although looks like another tear down towards the bottom as well, and over the number, and in that corner too. So a little wear on the back, but it's one of those cards. When I bought it, I remember it's $200 and some. So I'm glad I got it when I did. 30 years ago, probably 20 to 30, somewhere in there. But that's the first card I've got. They say Mays doesn't have quite the eye peel cards of like a Roberto Clemente, but I really do like some of his cards. I like that 57. Really like the 58. I think that's got nice coloring, nice smile. There's his 1960 card, which I think is a pretty cool card. Nice back. 61, maybe not as great without the hat. Kind of a dull expression, but 62 comes out pretty nice again. Really like the 63. Looks like I'm missing a 64. There's a 65. Missing the 66. There's 67. That's one of my favorites. Nice smile. Good color on that card. I'm not sure where my 68 is here, but there's the 69. Another one of my favorite cards. Beautiful color. It's one of my probably nicer conditioned Mays cards. 70 is actually part of my 70 set as a graded card. That's 71. That's one I've just got within the last year, and that's one of those I got off eBay that uses that sports card guarantee, which I kind of like. I know I've heard people not really like it, but it does give you some assurance on a $250 plus card that you are at least getting something authentic. I know it doesn't give you a grade, but at least it goes through their authenticators. And I think I ended up with a pretty nice raw card of his 71 Topps. Getting towards the end of his career here with the 72 in action. And then after he's traded to the Mets, his 73, which is his last regular card. I guess I didn't put out he's on a World Series card in 74. And then the other ones I put out here were some of his league leader cards. He led the league in home runs 4 times. Mays ended up 5th overall in WAR, 156 WAR, 4th of the non-steroid guys, and 2nd if you're just looking at hitters. I guess Babe Ruth was a hitter / pitcher, but mostly as a pitcher, he was number 1. Joe Pasnowski was a writer for The Athletic, came out a couple years ago with the top 100 players of all time, and Mays ended up number 1 on his list. Just kind of an overall player who had, besides being a good hitter, he had hit with power, had speed, was a great center fielder. Yeah, pretty much ultimate. When you talk about 5-tool players, Willie Mays is the top of the list. And I thought this was a cool card here because this league leader card had 3 of my favorite kind of all-time greats on it. And it's the only card that ended up with league leader card with those 3 on it. Clemente, Aaron, and Mays. For those of you who remember the old Trader Speaks magazine, that was something in I think it came out in the late 60s. I didn't get it then, but we got it in the late 70s, and it would have ads in there where you could buy older for us cards. And it would list like commons, and then it would give stars, and stars would cost like 10 times as much as a common, and that would be players, in the Rod Carew, Johnny Bench, Tom Seaver, Harmon Killebrew, Lou Brock kind of range. And then it would have 4 players that were 15 times a common. And these were 3 of the 4, the other being Mickey Mantle. It would cost you 15 times a common. So if a common would cost you 10 cents, these guys would be $1.50 for a card. If you're looking like at something like in the 68s or 69s or something like that, obviously the older in the 50s would cost a little more, but probably not a whole lot more back then. And that's how me and my friends would get our quote older cards back in the day. Were from ads from Trader Speaks, and especially from that one advertiser who listed his cards that way. But anyway, that's all I've got for today. Thanks for watching. Another week, we will be back with episode 25. Thank you very much. Have a great day.